You're listening to Talk with Olena podcast for immigration practitioners in Canada. And today I'm going to share with you why our business, Weber Immigration, is leaving Instagram. Yes, it's shocking. We've been on Instagram for a long time. We have about 80,000 followers, and we decided to leave it. So why we're closing down? Why are we closing down the Instagram? Well, we're going to get to it right after I remind you that right now I have my RCIC Business Accelerator open. Business Accelerator is my 6-week coaching program for RCICs that helps immigration practitioners to get better results in their business. We're going to go through and learn how to build marketing system that brings consistent results in your business, how to build case processing system to make sure that your business has sustainable and consistent output, so case processing. And then we will also learn about how to manage your business as a CEO in a very consistent and sustainable way, how to get your schedule as a CEO organized, how to not to burn yourself out with a crazy schedule or crazy number of consultations and cases, how to manage your finances for your immigration firm, and a bunch of other aspects. I'm also going to provide you a bunch of templates. It's more than 100 templates that you can use right away for your immigration practice. I include lots of bonuses in my RCIC coaching program, and that also includes some materials on how to hire your legal assistant, how to delegate to your staff, and many, many more bonuses. So if you're interested in my RCIC Business Accelerator program, you can sign up, but the intake closes on April 19th. And it's a Friday. So Friday at midnight, I close the intake. All right, now let's talk about why am I leaving Instagram? So I'll be honest with you. In the recent months, weeks and months, I just got sick of it. I just got enough of it. So just for background, so you understand where I'm coming from, Weber Immigration has been on Instagram since 2017. So basically, when I opened the firm in 2016, I was more on Facebook, and then 2017 we kind of fully transitioned to Instagram. And since then, the platform worked just great for us. We were growing consistently, getting more number of followers. We were pushing the content, we're producing the content, and quite frankly, I just enjoy the platform. It was a good platform. I had like really good connection with followers and really good results. The consultations were getting booked, and lots of people liked our content, so everything was going great. Now, in the recent couple of years, if you are on Instagram, you will know this. The algorithm and the way that the platform is kind of changed. So I guess it's just from the time that they introduced Reels, so those short form videos, the platform really changed because it really started basing kind of your success on how viral your content goes and how viral your reels go. And it's just algorithm changed. I don't know how to describe it, but I just didn't have the same vibe with platforms since, I want to say, since 2021. I just didn't have the same like enjoyment. So slowly but surely I stopped kind of enjoying posting, but still, it still works great until this day. It works great. It feeds the business and everything is good. So that's kind of like a background, like where we at with the platform. So now I want to tell you, so why am I leaving this platform? Everything is fine. It brings us mediocre results. It's not bad, but it's not perfect, right? But what is perfect, right? Like no platform is perfect. So why did I decide to completely just make this crazy sudden move and change my marketing system? And it's not just platform. I'm changing the whole marketing system for my immigration business, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so number one reason why it really comes down to the very, very basic question. And the question is, if you are an RCIC, the question is, what results do you want to get from your marketing platform? So whether you're on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube or on TikTok, or maybe all of them at the same time, or maybe you're just prioritizing your website, which results do you want to get? And the answer is very, very simple. And yet people don't understand that that's the goal. The answer is to bring consistent number of consultations. And my number of consultations, again, very simple, to bring consistent 12 to 15 consultations per week. I remind you that I'm not the only one RCIC in my firm. I have my husband who also handles consultations. So I do 6 to 8 consultations, and he also does around the same number of consultations per week. So this is our goal based on our revenue goals, based on our processing goals, based on our financial goals. So these are our goals, which are very, very simple. The key word here in this goal is consistent. So I want my marketing efforts to consistently bring 12 to 15 consultations per week. Very simple, right? But I have a problem here with Instagram, and there are two problems. Number one is consistency. That's the biggest problem. The biggest problem that I have with Instagram. And number two is really the number of consultations and how much effort I need to put to get that number out of Instagram, right? So let's talk about this. And I'm actually excited to hear what is your goal. What is your goal from marketing platform? Comment below. If you're listening on YouTube, comment below what is your goal from the marketing platform. Because it's very important to understand what is your goal. But what's more important even to understand is what is not your goal. So I'll tell you what is not my goal. It is not my goal to have 100,000 or 200,000 or 1 billion followers on Instagram. It's not my goal. It's irrelevant. Number of followers, they don't necessarily bring me it doesn't bring me any amount of revenue, profit. It doesn't mean anything. Number of followers virtually doesn't mean anything. There are pages out there with millions of number of followers, and owners of those pages don't make money. So number of followers is not a direct correlation, followers and income, right? So it is not my goal, and it's not how I'm going to measure the success of my marketing is number of followers. So definitely not my goal. What also is not my goal is to spend a lot of time to produce content or interact with followers. So we're trying to minimize the time. It's great if the platform can bring me 12 to 15 consultations per week. It's absolutely great. But if I have to spend 20 to 30 hours per week, or my staff has to spend 20 to 30 hours per week to get those 12 to 15 consultations, then I have a problem with that, right? So also, what's not my goal is to spend a lot of time on those platforms. And it's very personal decision. I don't like social media. I personally, I don't enjoy it. So I don't want to spend any time there. Honestly, I don't want to. I'm not a phone person. I don't go and scroll for hours. I just don't do it. I don't enjoy that. On my personal Instagram, I literally have 0 posts, and it's been 2 years and I haven't even posted anything. So 2 things. My goal is not to reach certain number of followers, hundreds of thousands or whatever. And my goal is not to spend a lot of time on Instagram or any other platform, right? What my goal is 12 to 15 consultations, which subsequently will supply about 10 cases per month. And ta-da, I have a $500,000 business. So why I really decided to transition from Instagram is because Instagram was not really fitting that goal anymore, right? So number one, And I'll give you a couple of reasons, and maybe it will make you reconsider some things as well. I'm not against Instagram, but what you have to realize is that Instagram is social platform. So the platform, it's a great platform, but it rewards you if you interact with your followers, you build a relationship with your followers, you build that connection, you chat with them, you respond to comments. It is a social platform. So the whole algorithm, it just rewards you if you are building that connection with your followers. Now, again, I just told you, I have honestly no interest in doing that. I have an interest in getting 12 to 15 consultations per week, but not really, like, I'm not going to have conversations or like respond to comments. In my earlier days, when I just got licensed, like first couple of years, sure, it was exciting, it was new business. I was like super pumped up about it. But now, 7 years later, now it's, what is it, almost 8 years now. I'm not interested in any conversations because I've had those conversations already. So I don't want that. So therefore, Instagram doesn't like really reward me in a sense of like promoting my content because I'm just not being like super active. We're posting a lot, yes, but we're not really interacting with followers in a sense that, like, as Instagram expects us to. So that's one reason. Now, the second reason is that Instagram, so I touched on it in the beginning of this podcast, is that Instagram transitioned to this concept when they really promote reels, and the whole really Instagram algorithm is kind of based on the fact is that if you have a reel, like even if it's like once a month or whatever, reel that goes viral, then you get a bunch of followers out of it, and like people book consultations and everything goes well. But if you don't have a reel that goes viral, then kind of it's harder to push the content out. So I don't like it, and that's another like really interesting thing to think about, is that we're so like in this culture when like everybody wants to go viral and content, and they want their content to get the views and the numbers and the followers, and like it's just, you want it to go viral, you want everybody to see it, but really that's not the point. Consistency is the point. I don't want to have 50 consultations per week just because some of my video went viral, and then for another week have zero consultations. I don't want that. My point is that, and the whole goal is to have 12 to 15 consultations every week. And your number can be different, right? But that's my number based on my pricing strategy, which, by the way, I teach in my RCIC Business Accelerator, and the overall system of our business. Very simple. Every single week for 52 weeks in the year, other than the weeks that we take vacations, I want 12 to 15 consultations per week. I don't want 50, I don't want 100, I don't want zero, I want 12 to 15. So having platform like Instagram that really like pumps up your content like reels, and like some things go viral, and if you go to Weber immigration page, you'll see that some reels had like 5 million, I think we have one like 10 million views, right? And that's great, sounds like a great reel, but the reality is that it actually hurts your business, because you'll be very, very busy and you'll be swamped and burning yourself out, burning your staff out for some period of time, like a couple of weeks or a month even. And then another period of time when it dies down, and you happen, because you don't control what goes viral, you don't know, like you can just try your best, but you don't know what's going to go viral. And if nothing goes viral, then what? Like you have 0 or 5 consultations instead, like you're underperforming financially at this point. So consistency is very, very important, is very big. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm leaving Instagram. I want consistent system that with very little effort will produce consistent results of 12 to 15 consultations. And Instagram is just not the platform for this. For me, for you, it can be it. I'm not saying that, that's the only truth. It's just not the platform that fits my needs. And again, going back to the first point, partially is because I don't want to interact with anybody. I want to produce content. Yes, sure, I like producing content. I don't want to chat with anybody in direct messages. I don't want to chat with anybody in comments. And that's kind of where Instagram, like, it's just not the best fit here. Okay, another reason is that it's very simple. I need to change. You know what? I've been on Instagram since 2017. That makes it how many years? Oh my gosh, I can't even do math. 7 years or 6, 7 years. And I just need to change. And you know what? It's so freeing as a business owner to say, like, I find so much inspiration from this, just to say, like, you know what? Yeah, I have this platform of 80,000 followers. Oh, I don't like it anymore. I'm just going to close it down. And it's just so liberating to have this power and to have this confidence to do that. And I just need a change. And I love experimenting as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. I just love experimenting. I want to build new marketing system from scratch. And in my RCIC business accelerator, I'm actually going to implement my own methods, my own teachings, and I'm going to follow along my own course to revamp my marketing system and also revamp my case processing and a CEO business management schedule system, like everything. I love actually doing that. I love following along my own program and working, implementing it on my own business, because it gives me opportunity to really get better results with my own business. So following my own teachings is just amazing. It's great. So yeah, this time around is going to be different, because in the market, so the first module in RCIC Business Accelerator is a marketing module. The second module is a case processing module. And the third module is a CEO management. So that's when we talk about hiring, about delegating, about financial stuff, bookkeeping, accounting, your schedule, your work-life balance. So anyways, in the first module in marketing, I'm going to like really follow along, because I'm going to build my new marketing system absolutely from scratch, and definitely not on Instagram. It's just time for a change, and I'm super excited about it. All right. So what I'm going to do and which system I'm going to build, that's a separate conversation. If you're going to sign up for my RCIC Business Accelerator, I will take you along on my journey, and we will share results together as you building your marketing system and I'm building mine. And we will just interact and like see how we're all implementing the same stuff. But maybe I'll cover it in my future podcasts. I'll tell you what is priority for me when looking and building new marketing system. Priority, as I said, is consistency. So finding the platform that would consistently push out the content. So Instagram, you know how it is. You create the content on Instagram and it lives only for like 24 to 48 hours, and then it just dies down, right? I don't want that. I don't like that. I want the content that lives forever. Good example would be blog posts, right? Like they live forever. Like there are other examples as well. Now, the second thing, other than consistency, it's also how much time I need to input to on weekly basis to maintain my marketing efforts. Instagram became like super time consuming, and it's just crazy. I think I did my last podcast on this, and it's just become very, very, very time consuming. And I've started putting much more time and efforts into my Instagram than I used to, but the results are still mediocre. So, what I want to do, and that's really the goal, I want to reduce the time that I'm spending on my marketing as much as possible, of course, even though I like marketing really, but still reduce it, and then keep reaching my goal, 12 to 15 consultations, but with more, structured, reduced time. I don't want to be putting like 20 hours per week for my marketing. Honestly, like it's just Instagram is becoming a bit ridiculous right now. So that's definitely the goal in the new system that I'm going to build. So minimizing the time. And then another thing very important is the quality of content that I produce. I want to increase the quality of content. So what I found is that because I started hating Instagram, the quality of my content went down because I'm not enjoying it. You know what? Like I'm just not, right? And I don't care. I honestly I don't even care what's posted there. Like I just don't like it. So and I don't like to feel like that. I don't like to do half job, I want to do a good job. So I really want to find the system that would allow me to spend little amount of time but to produce very high quality content that would convert and deliver consistent results, 12 to 15 consultations per week. So that's the goal. And that's about it, what I'm going to share today. Follow my future podcasts, and I'll tell you a bit more how my progress goes. And don't forget that RCIC Business Accelerator is going to close on April 19th. I am doing intakes usually like once every 6 months or once every 5 to 4 months. So the next intake for RCAC Business Accelerator is not anytime soon, probably September if I had to guess, but it's not confirmed yet. So if you want to enroll and you want to follow with me on the journey in marketing and really refining your case processing system, and then really being intentional with your CEO business management system, financial management, HR, hiring processes, training, delegating, all of that kind of stuff. If you want to do that, if you want to have the 6 week intense journey with me, then follow the link in the description of this podcast. Now, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. And I'm super grateful if you are listening on YouTube. I would be grateful if you leave a comment with what are your marketing goals and what platform do you use and what do you expect to get from that platform. All right. Talk to you next week. Thank you for tuning in.